Hi there. A member of the community asked me to have a look at this. It's an SRU board from JPM, and this was like the game changer back in the 70s. This was the first control unit to use stepper motors for the reels. It comes out of a Mark 1 each-way nudger, this one. I didn't have an each-way nudger program card, but I did have a card that I could tweak a wee bit to hit each-way nudger on it, and I'll show you that a wee bit later on. This one came up with a complaint of a reel fault, but when I initially tried it, it actually didn't have a reel fault. The reels were cycling fine. What was actually happening was after about 10-15 minutes, the board was crashing. It was just crashing and having random outputs on the sound and lamps, and the inputs stopped responding. So there was a lot of crusty parts on it. So you can see we've got some, hang on, oh, that's better. There's a lot of crusty parts on the seat. I've replaced everything on the bottom row with new, and replaced some of these as well. The CPU had crusty legs, so got a replacement for it. I spoke to the owner of the board first, and he was okay to get a replacement chip, so we've done that. They're still fairly easy to get, these 9N80s, but you need to have deep pockets for them. The price is very worldly. I actually got that one for £50, including shipping, and that was a good deal. Seen them online for crazy prices. Yeah, we are. Let's put it on now. It is going crazy outside. Really bad winter. The power it up, what I'm doing is I'm using the usual everything power supply. I've got 12 volt 5 and minus 12 and ground hooked up here. I've just fly-wired them onto the back real quick. Just for testing. There's no easy way to connect the power up, because like old video games of the day, the power supply is actually on the main board here. All the rectifiers and capacitors here and fuses are on the board itself. The power supply in the cabinet is just sending AC up to here. I've also got my little 555 board that you saw in my Strikeners video, and that's just supplying the unregulated signal here for the sync. And hopefully she works. Let's see. Hard to do this on the camera. There's some coins, and it should be 13 here. I think that's nudges. Yeah, nudges. So pin 2 would be reel 3 nudge. Hold button 3, so yeah. So if that's, what's the other one? Yeah. I'm just going through an old MPU3 volume control and a speaker. It does the job. Yeah, all good. Can't tell if the yep. out credits. That's a gamble. Double or nothing. You get the idea. I can't exactly show you much gameplay because there's no reels, there's no lamps, although I have looked and I can see all the lamp outputs and everything there. So yeah, she's a winner. Right, excuse me 1 minute. So like I said, I didn't have an eachway nudger ROM card. I had an old Super 2 ROM card, and as you can see, yes, I've hacked it a little bit, and I make no apology for that, because pretty soon we're going to have to do stuff like this to keep these games running. Super 2 and most of the SRU machines use 2708s, and hold on, if I just use my start button. With a 2708, you've got 5 volts comes into pin 24, but then you've got other voltages coming in as well. You've got voltage comes into pin 21, I think that's the 12, and 19, which is the -5. They're running a kind of weird logic, the old 2708s. So you have your 5 volt comes in here, that's the ground, and then 12 and -5. But it doesn't mean that you can't use more modern ROMs with them. This will accept 2716s or 2732s. Any 24-pin ROM chip. And all you do to do that is you cut your other 2 voltage rails here. Make sure there's no longer a connection there. And then you strip a little bit of the solder mask off. And you tie those 2 rails over your 5 volt rail here. And then you get rid of these 2 capacitors that are up here, because otherwise they blow up. One's on the 12 and one's on the -5. So you get rid of them. I've replaced the 5 volt capacitor with a nice strong one there. And then on the back, causing a 2708, pin 18 is the programming signal, which is for some reason they just leave floating on these cards. To make it run on SRU, you tie pin 18 to ground. Pin 18 on a 2716, 2732 is a chip select. So your chip select's always tied to ground, and then your output enable will run as normal, and your lines, which on a 2708 or voltage rails, are address lines on a 2716, so they're just tied to 5 volt. I mean, yeah, really I should have a pull-up resistor here or something, but it doesn't no harm tied to 5 volt. So, yeah. And if I want to convert it back, I just get rid of this. I get rid of my link wire in the back. And I join these 2 up here. And I've turned these 2 pads up for me to do that. So if I wish, I can set back to 2708s. I can maybe even surface mount a dip switch here and have it switch automatically between 2708s, 2716s. But you get the idea. End of the day, this SRU board is saved. So it's now going to go back to its owner for some further testing, and we'll need to see if these transistors are okay. That's just a case of transistor testing from here to these resistor packs here and vice versa. Because these pins here that would normally connect to the motors are just connecting to the collectors of these transistors. Yeah, excuse me, a little bit of indigestion there. Hope you didn't hear that on the camera. Never mind. But yeah, that's another one done. Stay tuned tonight if you're about, because I'm going to get that misbehaving impact board back out in the bench, and I'm going to, well, bench, I say bench, table. And I'm going to connect up a couple of other things to it and see if we can get that fault to occur. And I'm just giving a wee note for the owner here of this board. I haven't flung your old chip out. I still got it. And it'll get sent back with the board. The one on here is a couple of years newer. That's what have we got there? 9th week in 1981. And this one's first week is 79. So that's a couple of years newer, which is probably why its pins didn't corrode. I think, was there not something with these where the very early ones just corroded by themselves? There was something wrong with the internals of the chip, the chemicals used in it, and then you end up with that. You see how these look a bit crusty. And then they changed the manufacturing process to end up with that. I don't know. Oh yeah, the crash and fault. I almost forgot to mention it. It turned out to be the system clock chip. Now, how the hell can the system fault cause a crash? Well, allow me to show you. Yeah, I know, rambling. This video's gone on long enough. But never mind. Let me just fire up the old PC here. And get the SRU manual up. Yeah. I won't show you my screen at the minute because there's all my personal correspondence appearing. Right, this is what we want. SRU manual. Believe it was Richie100 of the forums that uploaded this. So thanks, big shout out to him. I've used it quite a few times in the past. It doesn't mention anything about hacking ROM cards, but then I don't think JPM would want you to hack your ROM card. But like I said, 2708s are getting unobtainium, and the programmers you need for a 2708 are getting super expensive and rare. Whereas your 2716s, excuse the mess, can be done with that Dataman sitting down there. And most mini pros, sometimes when mini pros get issues with certain models of 2716, but they do work. Now this is playing up a bit now. Hold on. I shall pause you for a second till this loads up. Right, here's what we need. DVN. System clock. So it's just your standard Pierce oscillator. We love those things so much. And the system clock just provides your timing pulse, and then the device gets sent through a couple of 393 counters and it does various things. Goes on the chip for the clock, which is all fair enough. So when I actually looked at it, all the system clock was running, but it does something else. It provides an enable signal for all your I/O through DBN, and it was that line there that was gone. That was flaking out on me, which meant that basically your memory access was going nutty. Hang on, I'll pull up another one. Yeah, there we go. There's the DBN line coming in there, and occasionally that was just flaking out, so the board was just basically losing its marbles at random. But like I say, it's all looking good now. Yeah, just another note. You see that? I haven't replaced him because I'd always really, he's scorched from the regulator here. It works. When you're replacing that clock chip, it has to be a 7404. An LS04 will misbehave. So, I've gone on long enough about this. Nothing real else to say on it. I could do with replacing the capacitors. Obviously I'm going to take all these link wires off. I'm going to have another bit of a play test of it and see if I can get the jack pot tune, because I love that eachway nudger jack pot tune. And in the long run I'm probably going to come up with something for here. But if I do, that's going to be another video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of a SRU video, and bye bye for now.